Hello, this is Renee and Kent Miller, and we're here to talk about predictions today, our 10th in our series, and it's all about the truth coming out.
Oh,
pretty much.
I'm supposed to say it's about the truth, finally.
So this prediction was taken from the end of May 2007 and the beginning of June 2007, right in that time frame. And it has an overall theme of the truth coming out, and we're going to plug right into it, right to it, and start a PowerPoint. Yeah, we're going to share the screen here.
So,
for some reason, my mouse is not working. Okay, let's go.
Let's start with the first slide. And it says the true ones will be given the knowledge. And first of all, we have to decide who are the true ones. So the ancients said they can move the dates, and we'll tell you why, to confuse many who are not true.
This is specifically speaking to those who channel and speak to those on the other side, the spiritual realm, and receive information. And so this is addressing all those who have that ability, and specifically those who are charging a lot of money for that.
Well, there are many charlatans, and they're showing up now. They say that they have the variances. They can change things to show the ones that are untruthful. It'll bring them out, and they can change the times. Why? Because there's no such thing as time.
They can change the timing of events.
Yeah, because our timing is based on the Gregorian calendar here in the United States, and there are other calendars in different areas of the world.
And all of them really relate to, at its very basic essence, relate to our relationship to the sun, to our sun and our rotation around the sun. So if you were to be on another planet with a different rotation, it would not be the same. So therefore, our definition of time and how we measure time is unique to our planet and does not relate to any other planet.
So the true ones will be given the knowledge, those who practice and listen to what the knowledge may be.
And what we have always been taught is that there's certain information that comes directly at the behest of the Creator, and that should not have a price tag on it, that anyone should have the ability to access certain information, and it should not be only those who can afford it. It should be access for any, regardless of their financial situation.
So we have received more information. It says explosions from Baghdad. It's in tentacles. No, we're not sure what this means, or if it meant the past war in Iraq or whether it's coming. So it said summer deaths will be overwhelming. Well, another warning of consequence.
And this is doesn't go with the overall theme of this meditation. However, it's a sign. So they're going to be giving us these predictions because they're all signs. They're signs of the times. So if we can't assign a date, and anyone who predicts or gives a prediction associated with a date, I would really question that. And so what they're telling us is, here are the signs. These are the signs you need to watch for, and it will tell you when the time is near.
Yeah, so an alchemist will be seeds of serenity, and we'll explain what we think an alchemist is, and is taking something of lower vibration and moving it to a higher vibration.
So the true definition of alchemy or an alchemist is someone who transmutes a lower metal or a cheaper metal to gold. And in this sense, we think it's being used as a metaphor to transmute perhaps humanity from a lower vibration to a higher vibration through these lessons that we need to learn.
Yeah, so it talks about a fortuitous disclosure of man's intent, and we're seeing what the human different sides' intents are, and we're not sure if this is accidental or fortunate. So, but it's going to play out, and you're going to find out. So anyhow, it causes absurd behavior overall.
Yeah, they're telling us that there's going to be this release of information that's going to disclose what man's intent is, or some people in our society, what their true intent is that has gone unnoticed by the population. And that through this, there's going to be an overhaul of this absurd behavior that whatever the intent is, that this is going to be corrected.
Yeah, so it'll prove itself out, such as what happened in the Carolinas this last election. This is called unscrupulous behavior, and so it'll play itself out, and we'll see how it ends up.
And we're not sure if this particular Carolina and unscrupulous behavior relates to that event or a future event.
Right. Unscrupulous behavior did happen recently. So anyway, all will distrust all. No one is one. All have some form of distrust.
So they're saying that our distrust of each other has led to disunity. We are not one. And this in turn creates a lot of dysfunction and chaos. But part of that is because there has been no levelness of consequence, or there has not been any consequences. So when we hold people accountable for their actions, then we force a correction in their behavior, and they have to look at themselves and their part in whatever event has been created out of it. So lack of consequences only enables people to continue, and probably the same group of people with this hidden agenda is what they're talking about, because the public, have not held them accountable because we're not really paying attention.
Yeah, shortcomings, which causes more shortcomings and misunderstanding. And so all that ties in together. Perceptions of misunderstood. Our perceptions is how we see things, and those are going by the wayside eventually.
So let's back up a minute. They're saying that our shortcomings are based on a lack of understanding, and that is because we are not participating in the process of observation, doing our homework. We've gotten a little lazy about that, and this is all coming back to kind of in a circular sort of way, or boomeranging back to us to be a lesson for us that we're in this situation because we have not been paying attention. And that we're living in this perception that we understand what's going on, but it's a perception, and it's actually a misperception. It's not correct. Our perceptions are not aligned to the truth.
Right, misunderstood perceptions.
And so this desperate behavior, as things start to change, as this truth comes out, you may see desperate behavior on the part of probably those that are involved in this hidden agenda or this intent that they're talking about.
We already see desperate behavior by those that are entrenched in their perceptions, and they're becoming desperate to the way they think.
And so her view in this sense is the overall scope of what is happening, and that is the operations, the authority, and the control of this group that they're talking about. And so when we, in hindsight, review the evidence before us, the truth that's coming out, then
the distrust will go away.
The distrust will go away because we will have the truth and we'll understand what's going on. And that in turn is going to help unite us.
Now, this is the way we see things. This is our view of the interpretation of what we got. And this may not be totally true. We would like to hear from your interpretation of what you think this stuff means. Anyway, to continue on, justice, serenity of injustice, the inconvenience and misfortune of many. Justice will bring misfortune to many who thought they were in the right or
were trying to get away with something in their hidden agendas.
Right. You're not going to change much of what is to come. A fine-tuning of the earth. And we cannot control what the earth does. We can only try to control what man does.
And
or the human race.
Our mentors, the ancients or ancient preceptors of the Creator, have told us before that they really can't change much of what man creates because man is very unpredictable. Man is a wild card of sorts. So they can tweak events relating to earth changes and to some degree. There are variances, not to a large degree, but they're not going to change much of what's to come. So this rumbling of misfortune for many, again, goes back to those who are with malicious intent, let's put it that way.
So it said the northern U.S. has rumbling, and we can figure that probably from earthquake activity. The northern U.S. could be from Yellowstone. It could be from many faults that are lying across the northern U.S. And it says the east is augmented by water and drought. Now, we're not sure what they mean by the east. The east, United States, the east of the world, which would be
the Middle East,
Indonesia, etc. So
generally for us, we receive most of our predictions are about the U.S. or the U.S. involvement with other countries.
Yeah, but we do receive about other parts of the world.
Occasionally we do. So we're not real sure if this is referring to the East Coast here of the U.S. or if it's referring to the Middle East.
Yeah, and it goes along with the trees surge and fire, which is forest fires. And there's been forest fires in many places. Look at California this last year. So we're not sure where all this is supposed to pertain to, or it already has.
I think, again, it goes back to these are predictions to tell us when the time is drawing near for this whole change to occur.
Yeah, it could be warnings, just warning signs.
So all these are signs of the times, and they're talking about vermin arriving and arising.
Okay, now, vermin, we're not sure if it means animals or humans. Humans are considered vermin because of their way they speak. So,
I would venture to say that it probably has to do with insects, insect invasion, locusts or something along that line. Although time will tell.
Yeah, but we've seen just lately vermin in the human race. Breadbasket, this goes along with what's happening somewhere in the world. The breadbasket will dry up. Plenty will be dispersed to less. So,
and this, we have to assume that there will be less people. So be prepared for a lot of death, and unfortunately, but we do have to prepare don't assume that there's going to be plenty of food. We do have to be self-sufficient. So man has cut the cord extending far beyond where he lives. And this would suggest to me that it has to do with those outside of Earth. So the Creator, we have drifted away from our Creator, and also our connection to those outside of the Earth, other peoples outside the Earth that once were here helping humanity and teaching humanity.
So the Virgin Mary appeared in Fatima, which gave warning signs. The Virgin Mary will appear again to give a very big sign, and the world will chatter about the Virgin Mary sign. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Virgin Mary is a sign to the Catholic, but they seem to have taken this over. But the Virgin Mary will appear and give warnings to the world, not just one section of the world. But the wealthy will pretty much ignore these signs. And these signs need to be looked at along with other signs around us.
So again, they're saying that titles are signs that has to do with man's egotistical pursuits, and titles, assigning titles is a part of that. We don't know if that's going to rise and be a big part in what is about to come, what is around the corner. So all only will relate to understanding by those that need, those that are desperate, confused, and grasping for something. So as these events progress, it is going to put us into a state of desperacy. Be prepared for that. And we are going to tell you how to prepare as we've been taught. But people are going to be real confused. This is about a transformation of humanity and a rebalancing of the earth.
Yeah, and the key words here is the need. All only will relate to understanding by those that need, not by those that want.
Yeah, but those that need the understanding, and this is a spiritual journey, guys. This is can't think of it in terms of, oh, these earth changes are coming and we're just going to protect ourselves and for survival purposes. This goes beyond survival. This is our in our desperacy. What do? We reach out to the Creator. Oh God, help me. And so it is a positive change. They're telling us this is not a negative. This is a positive change because it is recorrecting humanity and it's balancing the earth.
We're not going to get much more warning. Most of the warnings have been given through time, and man has ignored these warnings. This could be the final warning for a big change comes. And when the change comes, we will not have any dates put on these changes. When somebody says, oh, something's going to happen, such as December 12th, 2012, we do not have any time set on anything. This is up to those powers far beyond the human race.
And remember that they said that they can change the time frame slightly to reveal the charlatans, to reveal those who say they know more than they actually know.
The untruthful ones.
The untruthful ones.
So
they're telling us, go ahead.
Yeah, augment the behavior with understanding, with truth, okay, and with opulence, and try to preserve somewhat the truth, because we are heading down a wrong path right now.
So all of these changes, they're telling us to augment our behavior, to make our behavior bigger and better, improved, with the understanding. So when we don't understand, we go into the mode of yelling, screaming, carrying on, that sort of thing. when we do understand, when we're aligned to the truth, when we can see the truth, and when we persevere in our search for the truth, then what happens is that our behavior changes, and we present ourselves in a much more calm and together projection.
Yeah, many people say, well, what is truth? And truth comes from the gut feeling. You've had that feeling when you should have done it this way because it didn't turn out. The gut felt it in the gut. That's kind of your truth.
But truth is also a search, a persistent search for truth, because truth is ever evolving. We never get to the total truth on our level here on Earth. It is like peeling back the onion. And so one layer at a time reveals, each new layer reveals a new aspect of that truth.
Truth is understanding. They're related.
And, right. So what are we doing? We're seekers of truth, and we have to constantly dig and find our own truth and not rely on someone else to tell us what the truth is, because that's why we're here at this juncture in time.
Yeah. So with this, we would like to add our own perception of what you might need. We'll do a short comment on the things that you might need. So
to prepare.
Because you have to prepare for a hurricane, you have to prepare for earthquakes. There's a lot of preparation for different things, and not just the times changing. So if you're prepared for these different events, earthquakes, hurricanes, things of this nature, then you're pretty prepared. You're pretty prepared for at least 6 months without electricity and things that you normally rely on. And some things we have to look at is water. And to be able to have drinking water, you can go several days, if not weeks or months, without food, but you cannot go more than 3 days without water.
So a way of collecting water, a way of cleaning that water. It's good to have a little Clorox on hand, because you can add a few drops of Clorox to your water to purify it. Drinking filters or water filtering systems, that sort of thing. Rain barrels, those sort of things all help in our ability to obtain clean water, because we may have a period of time where there's water that has been contaminated, but also the rain patterns are changing. So there may be areas that may go for extended periods of time without rain.
Yeah, it's whatever you can afford, because you can capture rainwater and boil it. And if you get a insert into your fireplace where you can actually boil water and cleanse it that way,
a fireplace insert or a wood-burning stove.
Wood-burning stove, it creates heat for the wintertime, that you may not have electricity or gas to do that. So,
right. So your northern states will want to have a heat source, and because as we're going along, we're realizing that, as we mentioned in a previous video, there may be some sort of a solar event, and we're being told that is what is expected, is a solar event.
So look at seeds,
which may knock out electricity. So seeds, you want non-hybridized seeds. An F1 is a hybrid. You want to be able to harvest your own seeds from the fruit that you are harvesting, so that you have seeds for the following year. And clothes. And then let's go back to the whole purpose of this, for the understanding. One, the earth is rebalancing, so lots of earth changes. Two, humanity is being corrected to a deeper understanding of the truth and what is going on in our world. And three, man is being upgraded. And so all of this is to push humanity forward, and in our levels of understanding, greater genetic expression, and to reconnect us with the Creator. And so that is the biggest part of it, is our connection to the Creator and getting us back to God.
Yeah. So with that, we would like to say thanks for watching, and we hope you keep looking at our videos.
Do subscribe, and you will receive our videos as they are posted to YouTube.
We're leaving it up to you to understand these predictions on your own terms. You might not necessarily agree with us, and that's fine. We have no problem with that, but we'd like to hear from you if you have a different point of view, because we also are students of learning.
Yes, and so that's why we present these in the original language that we received them in.
Yeah.
So that you can make your own decision. And check out our website, verdiance.com, that's with a V, for our blogs, and that is the lessons that we have translated from the book, The Augmentation of Man, A Study in Renaissance, and they are spiritual lessons, right? So peace be with you on your journey, and get prepared. You won't be stressed out thinking about all this once you're prepared. Thank you. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.